Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Anthony, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
not
I'm
too
good.
bad.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, so this is Scott, my business partner.
Hello.
Hello, how's it
Yeah,
going? All good?
Good,
yeah,
not bad.
yeah.
Good, good.
Scott's an ex-big Magic player. He used to play a lot of Magic competitively,
Yeah.
but then the Magic community tends to be toxic, so then he decided
I
to
couldn't
leave the
take it
game.
anymore. It was
Nah.
too much for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I always like I came from Magic, but my background is very much very casual. You know, so I play.
Yeah.
I've always played along like the kitchen table with friends, and obviously
Okay.
Commander was a big thing. So I played a lot of that. Still play a little bit of that every now and again. So yeah,
Okay. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I've this is actually my first TCG, surprisingly, if
Oh
you want to
really?
know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not that if I've always known obviously about Magic because I'm a gamer as well, right?
Yeah.
I've always known about Magic, but I never bothered getting it because because I grew up in a small town here in Malaysia,
Mm.
and where I live, we didn't have people, no one played Magic, right? And I actually managed to get some Magic cards because a cousin of mine, uh, from the US, no, from Australia, yeah, my Australian cousin came by one of the holidays. He was visiting his parents, and then he gave me a few Magic cards, right?
Yeah.
I think it was back in that was in the mid '90s. So I think those were those early black bordered cards and all that.
All right.
And I had a whole bunch of them. I kept them for a while. And I was like, I don't know what to do with these, right? And then my American cousins came a couple of years later, a year or two later. They came to visit for holidays, and then I gave them all the cards. And now I'm thinking like, could I have had some valuable cards in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh man,
those yeah, I know, right? Those 1990s cards are going to be
yeah. And it was those 1990s cards. I mean, I don't even know what I had. I was just I didn't know how to play. My cousin didn't teach me how to play. He just gave me, yeah, here's some magic cards for you. I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah.
But yeah, no one to play magic with in back where I live. Yeah.
Oh. So when did Stormgate Games start then? What's the story behind that?
The story behind that? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I actually had the idea for Stormgate throughout the pandemic, right? So I had left my corporate job just a couple of years ago, and then during the pandemic, I happened to stumble into a Warhammer store.
Oh yeah.
And then I began to think, well, this could be a business, right? So I started looking into it. I started painting, and I started to figure out how I could, potentially get into Warhammer. And we do carry Warhammer actually, yeah. So that was our idea, and then Scott and I actually are recent acquaintances actually, but we become good friends since. So Scott and I met in this other store called Invictus Forge. So that's where I discovered Flesh and Blood, and then I was like, oh, okay. Then Scott and I became friends. We started jamming some games, because my schedule was flexible. Scott's was flexible as well. So we jam games in the afternoons when there's no one in the store, right? In this other store.
Yep.
So then we got around talking. I told Scott, hey, I have this. I'm going to start as a game store in Warhammer, and then okay, that's it. I think I'm going to carry Flesh and Blood because I said that I think this game is cool. I think there's potential. Um,
Yep.
and then that's how it started. And then Scott started playing more games with me. Then
Yeah.
one day he said, "Oh, I can help you out at the store. We can I can help you with learn to play because he understands the game way better than me, right? Because I'm new to TCGs, right?
Well, yeah.
And
I mean,
after
I imagine as
yeah.
well. I imagine as well, like Scott coming from a competitive background.
Yeah, yeah.
Flesh and Blood is like the hyper optimized. Every card has a mode which you can use it for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
sort
have to be super calculative with everything, on the resource, damage, right? Make sure everything
Yeah.
goes well.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like you guys. I'm more casual. So
Yeah.
I sometimes play other heroes that Scott's like, why you play this hero? This hero.
Oh yeah, when Chris first started, he played. I think he played Livia.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
I can't remember. It was some sort of brute, right? I'm like, Chris, do you not want to win games?
That's right. Yeah. Well, you'd hate me then, Scott, because I play Azalea all the time.
I know. We had this one customer in the shop that plays Azalea, but he decided, okay, it's enough. He went playing Fi now.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he still does love Azalea though. So I told him that hey, I'm in contact with Az, who is a big Azalea fan, right?
Yeah.
And I said that I mean, because I think all those Azalea fans need to band together. I said, why don't you one day, you can just, come on your channel for the Azalea cult, right?
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about Azalea, do something there because you love Azalea, right? He's like, oh, it's not confident. He said, I don't know. I don't know what I can offer. And I'm like, but you love Azalea, right? I said, so we'll see how. Azalea player, because when I first played against him, he could kill my old him, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
but then
she's got
when
some
he-
good tools to
Yes.
to get round some defensive stuff. Yeah, like dread ball
Yeah.
and release attention. A
Yeah.
lot of value comes from the defense reacts, but I think a lot of the value now comes from Oasis Respite, which is horrible for Azalea because she can't do anything about it. Well, it's horrible for every hero. Let's be honest. Oasis Respite is just mad.
Yeah, I guess.
But-
Yeah, because it's the instant, it's not a D-react, right?
Immediately
Exactly.
stop playing Kano. I'm like, nope, it's not happening.
Yeah, unlucky. No chance.
Yeah, but do you play other heroes as I mean I don't you're big on Azalea, but I'm not sure, you know, do you play any of the others?
I mean, to be fair, when I first started my channel, I started it literally just before Monarch released. So about a year or so ago, I started my channel, right?
Right.
And Monarch released, and I watched a few streams, and I was just like, right, this is way too complex for me. Charging your soul, blood debt, playing stuff from the banished zone. I was like, nah, I'm not about this. So I went back to Welcome to Rave and discovered that, and Arcane Rising and discovered that. And I still think even to date, I still think Arcane Rising is my favourite set because it had Viserai in it, which was my favourite hero to begin with, Viserai. And then my favourite female character is Azalea, which is now obviously my favourite female character. But the love started with Viserai because I liked the whole sort of dark and brooding sort of warlock sword and sorcery. Yeah. So that's my favourite set so far. Don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, Scott's a big
Well,
he's a
for me-
player. Yeah.
For me, when I first got into the game, so went to the shop, went for this learn to play. The guy gave me Prism. No idea how to play. Alright, it seems like they enjoy introducing new players Prism. It seems like it's the easiest class to play.
yeah.
But when I got into the game, I realized nope, Prism is not the easiest class to play. You know, you need a different mindset when you play Prism. Sometimes it's okay getting whacked in the face, but because coming from Magic background, getting whacked in the face is a no-no.
Yeah.
Alright? So you tend to keep blocking. So for the first month, every armory was going in to get beaten up.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I would say as a new player who goes into a game and has this sort of experience is very unpleasant,
Yeah.
right? Because if you just keep losing and then you don't know what's going on, you just probably quit the game. Yeah, so I feel as a store, I think these stores really need to understand what these players really want to play instead of just giving them whatever. Right? Like whenever a customer walks into our store and then I will ask them, "Oh, have you played Magic before?" Then some would say yes, some would say no. Those who say yes, and then I'm going to be like, "Okay, cool. What color do you play?" By
Yeah.
telling me what color they play, I kind of know what hero suits them. Which
Oh, you can
Yes.
make that comparison, can you? That's interesting.
correct.
Yeah.
If let's say he says, "Oh, I like to play red," then I'm like, "Oh, is it those kind of red deck wins?" Then he's like, "Yeah, I like that." Okay, then it's probably Phi.
Pure aggro,
You know,
yeah.
it's probably aggro matchups. It's like, so if he says, "Okay, I like to play blue black control," then I'm like, maybe you might like Ohim, right?
Yeah.
Something slow,
Yeah.
right? Win games at the late game, something like that. So
Like
that's
attrition,
how
yeah.
that's how I introduce new players to the game with magic reference. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's nice little insight. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
that's where it pays off as well to have like extensive card game background as
Yeah.
well.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. So we I know we are new in the scene. Both Scott and I come from corporate backgrounds. So the way we treat the business is a lot more professional compared to a lot of the people here.
yeah,
But Scott and I are both big community believers. We believe in really building people up in the community. And because I mean I'm very conscious of the fact that there's toxicity, right? Because even currently with some of the FAB players here in Malaysia, we have some level of hyper competitive guys who are not friendly at all. And I had really poor experiences as well playing because I'll go into an armory and then like this guy will be super serious at the table.
Yeah.
Doesn't even say hello. And he keeps like, and he keeps keeps pushing me to play fast, and he's like, and I'm like, I'm looking for fight. I'm not even there. I didn't even go at that point in time. I wasn't even going for for full-on armories. I was just going for blitz, on-demand blitz stuff. And I was having a horrible time. I'm like, why are these guys like that? I'm like, and then I was like, at that point in time, already the store was starting up already, and I was like telling Scott, look, Scott, we cannot have this kind of environment for new players because it's bad, I mean, because all of us play card games for fun, right? Mostly, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone's there to hear to trash other people. We just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And then why are you making it? I mean, making it feel like I'm in an exam. I'm like back in the day in school. I'm like, this is bad. This cannot happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how as a store you prevent that from happening either, because Flesh and Blood, its very nature at the moment in this scene is you have to be really good, otherwise you are going to get stomped. The learning curve is very high, so it is interesting, like how you guys get new players on board when you might already have an established player base that are just literally smashing people's faces left, right, and centre.
So I think so from the get-go, because Scott used to be in Magic and he had to deal with that hyper toxicity there, right? So we both agreed that we wanted to have a very positive group in our store.
Yep.
So what we've done is we actually created a safe space for people. We also encourage people to share your cards. Just teach someone to play. If someone's coming in new to the game and coming for Armory for the first time, don't play with power. You can just dial down a little bit and just play, right? So I mean, and also we were promoting formats like Commoner and things like that. So we made sure that at the beginning we have that. And now that the store has been around for a while now, and we have players who can play really well with more competitive decks, we still try to encourage space for people to learn. And I think the good thing is that our players are really great people because we've created that environment for positivity, right? So we make sure that they're actually very, very kind to other players. Although our guys actually, when we have new players come in, they happen to be around, they will actually help the players build their decks. They'll say, hey, this hero is good. They'll go like, oh, you want cards? Yeah, some of mine. To help you, have a bit more. So they give out their rares.
Yeah.
They won't give out the Majestics because our guys, some of them really crack quite a fair bit. Like they come in and grab boxes and every time and like, oh, we got all these Majestics here, have some, and that's really good because that actually helps people feel welcome.
Yeah.
And then Scott and I, of course, we spend time with people who are interested to build their decks, and we actually sit down with them and spend like a tremendous amount of time. Let's look at the list online, and then we'll obviously we play the game, right? So we can evaluate. Oh, this list actually looks okay. I mean, we know what the deck does. And these are probably coming off FABTCG.com anyway, right? These are winning deck lists who can make it the top 8 or whatnot. So we say, okay, then we can build that. And after if you obviously you can't have all the legendary equipment, right? So anyways, but you have the functional deck. So then we will say, oh, just come in and play. We'll play with you. Like today, I had a dude who came in, who just came in just this week. And he straight away said, oh, he really loved Bravo, right? So he said to me today, I helped him build his deck. He didn't get every card he wanted, but because some cards were a bit pricey.
Yeah.
But anyway, I helped him to build a fully functional deck. I even could recommend him some replacements until he could afford the more expensive ones, right?
Yeah. So that's another thing as well. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem, yeah.
But do you encourage people to play with the best things straight away? So do you say, right, you can run a proxy in your deck because you want to play with?
So how we did it was we told them, okay, look, so the thing is, equipments in the game, they are 90% of the budget you're going to spend on, right? The deck itself,
it's like lands in Magic, right?
Yeah, correct. So it's like your tap lands, your dual lands, your shock lands, right?
Yeah.
So I tell them, okay, look, the main thing you're going to be spending on is equipment, all right? But the most important thing now is the deck. You need the deck to play, but you don't need equipment to play.
Yep.
All right? So then, okay, I tell them, okay, so let's say if you want to play, let's say like someone wanted to play Phi. I say, okay, the only expensive equipment you need to spend on is Mass of Momentum.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like $100 card, right? So I said, okay, look, let's make the deck with the Majestics and the rares and the super rares, right? Just play the game as it is. Play with Chris, all right? So obviously Chris sometimes might win the customer. So I say, okay, how about this? Now second round, now pretend that your hit piece is a mass of momentum,
Yeah.
and you play with it, and then feel the difference. Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll explain things to him like, let's say, if you were to attack him all the way, and it's like small attacks like 2-3, 2-3, Chris is not gonna block. Him is not gonna block.
No.
But now you're trying to tell Chris, look, on the third consecutive hit, I'm gonna draw a card. Even though it's a 1 power card, he's gonna block.
Yeah, so you're adding more decisions rather than giving them all straight away. Yeah, okay, that's good.
So I told all these new players, whenever you can put your opponent in a position where they need to think, over time they get tired and they will make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how I explain why things are expensive to them.
Yeah. So actually, this just happened on what day was it, Scott? Was it Thursday?
I think it's a Friday.
Friday, yeah. So I have this guy who I've been because I'm actually in the Warhammer scene right now. I get to know people in the Warhammer community. So this guy, he's a Warhammer painter. So he came into the store one day just to check out Warhammer stuff, and then he said, "Hey, this card game, what's this?" Right? So I think that time Scott was in the store. I was in the store. So I said, "You want to give it a try since you're already here and there's no one around really now. I can just play a couple games with you." And then he started playing, and it's like, "Oh, this is quite good." And I said, okay, I'll come back again another time, right?" So he said, I really want to check out the game, and I really want to support the store, maybe get a starter deck or whatnot."
Yeah.
So he came a second time in. So that at that point, when he came in the second time, that was when some of our customers were there. So then they started encouraging him to play, and then they was like, "Hey, we're actually right now doing a campaign on Facebook to give out free common grid stacks out to people." And then I had one on hand already, right? So I said, why don't you he can take home this one. So I said, okay, you can take home, no problem, just take home a 5 deck. And he took home the deck. We put it there. We have these plastic sleeves that like a small plastic pack that you can put the cards in, right? So he was carrying that around for a long time, and then suddenly he came in the following week, which was this week. And he said, "Yeah, I think I want to build a deck right now." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." So then that's when we went about building. It was last weekend, I think. So we built a complete deck for him and everything. And then after that, he came again this week, and that's when Scott and I played. Because he wanted to teach him the game, then we played the game with him. That we did one with without much momentum, obviously, because he had all the common equipment, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, he was playing, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm not doing too well." I'm like, because he's not incentivizing me to block. I just take all the damage. I'm gonna come back at you with 10 damage or 9. Right? Then for Ninja, that's bad. And then obviously, I think he used to play Magic as well, I think. So he kept blocking, right? So when you keep blocking with 5, you got nothing to attack after that, and 5 needs the cards to do the long combo lines, right?
Yeah.
So then Scott was watching, and then Scott said, "Okay, and then he was like, oh, it was a deck that we built for him already. It was it was a competitive deck, I think, just without the equipment." So then Scott said, "Okay, why don't I try? I play with it." He asked Scott, "Can you play with the deck first, and then let me show me like how to play?" And then then after that, then Scott said, "Hey, why don't we just proxy? This equipment will be the new legendary equipment that you don't have yet." And then we just played. And then Scott trashed my old him, right?
Oh,
and
really?
Then when that happened, Scott's a good player, right? I still struggle with the game because I still sometimes feel the fear of like taking damage or whatnot, right? Anyways, so then immediately after that, he was like, "Yeah, I think I want to get much momentum." Yeah. Because we could see very clearly that the mask caused me to block even though it was one attack. But previously when he was playing, he was giving me all these white combos, right? I'm like, 1 damage, 4 damage, I'll just take it. Another 4 damage, no problem, But then I'm just gonna hit you back. Or I'll just block one of the attacks and then I'll hit you back. So yeah, I think that's how we can demonstrate to people, like, how the game works and how equipment is central to the game, especially for Ninja. I think maybe other heroes you don't need that much. I think Bravo you can still play with the Helm of Iron's Peak or whatnot, but with the Ninja you really need that, right? Because the ninjas are coming and poking at you, and without that incentive to do that block on the third hit.
Yeah, it's a very crucial decision point when that third attack's coming in and you have to block it basically.
Yeah, because every card in hand is potentially a 3 to 5 attack.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
So these are just ways that we do. So we don't we don't just like get players in and just get them to buy cards. We really help them to understand what they're getting into, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
but that's
getting-
also
Yeah.
that's also great for the store as well, because you're showing them the value in the card, and then they're buying the card because you're showing them the before and the after of how much value you can get off of it. So you're also selling. You're obviously taking their skills to the next level, but you're also selling the card as well, which is good for business, right? So
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we,
I
we
think
found,
in the-
yeah, correct.
I think
yeah.
in the business perspective, I think selling a deck or a hero to a customer is kind of like selling them a car, right? If they walk in and then you just point them a car and say, take this car,
yeah,
most people wouldn't take it, right? Because most people, when they walk into a car showroom, they probably have a reason of buying the car,
yeah,
right? Be it for family purposes, which is like an MPV, or maybe they just want a sports car for luxurious purposes.
Yeah.
So I think most stores don't ask their customers what are they looking for. They just put things in front of customers and then just expect them to take it.
Yeah, and that's a great way to go as well, because I've been in sales for God knows how long, and it is also about finding out what the customer's requirements are before you even recommend a product. You need to know what they're all about. If I walked into a shop and you didn't know that I loved casual games, and you tried selling me something which is hyper aggro, competitive, all the optimal lines of play needed, that's not. I'm just going to be like, nah, it's not for me.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I think card games. I think I like how Legend Story Studios is approaching the game.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of having PVE one day and all that, that sort of like that makes me more excited, because I'm like, I think card games tend to be very competitive, right? All card games are competitive.
Yeah.
But now that I'm getting into card games, I really like the whole brain thing where you have to make decisions, the deck building is very interesting. And I'm like, hey, anyone can actually play card games, but I know some people are just not competitive. They just want to play for fun. And they want to co-op with friends. Because there are a lot of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, and I personally play video games that are more co-op in nature. I don't like playing PvP games where what do you call it, like, what's the stupid game? The Microsoft
Fortnite?
one that. No, Bungie, the one that's by Bungie.
Oh, Destiny.
The
don't know.
one before Destiny. The one where Halo, yeah. A lot of people
Oh,
like play
Halo.
games like
Yeah.
Halo, or they play games like
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. I hate those games because I'm like, I
do as well.
I'm not very good at shooters, and because those guys,
Legends.
Yeah.
those guys just can hit shot you one time. I'm like, what the heck? Man, I don't want to play that,
Yeah.
So I hate games like that, right? And then when I first started coming into TCGs with Scott, and then Scott was like, obviously Scott's a different gamer than me. He's more competitive, so he really enjoys playing against other people, beating other people, and then people beating him back, and then he comes back again the next time, and then he gets better and he beats them. Because I don't really like that. I'm like, oh, I don't enjoy beating other people in games. I like playing together with people, and then let's have fun together, and let's beat the game together, right? And I like the whole idea of
That's a good point as well. Like, again, at the moment, Flesh and Blood obviously caters to the people that want to play competitively, and the design space that they've and the game that they've designed is amazing for that, because there's no card is really a dead card if you want to build it correctly. So they're really catering to that at the moment, and that's thriving. But there is an entire 90 or even 95% of players are not going to be Pro Tour competitors. So there's going to and people want to play this game. I wanted to play this game originally because I can identify with a certain character, because it's hero centric. It's like Diablo, where you choose a character and you go and you build a deck around that character, which is great. The PVE and FAB 2.0, as they've called it on their website, is a great indication of where this is going. With like the introduction of Commoner, which is a nice little budget-friendly way of getting into stuff potentially competitively, because Commoner can still be degenerate, trust me.
Yep. Yeah.
So
all those seeds of agony and all those sort of nonsense.
all that, it's the Wild West. It really is.
Yeah, actually, that was how we started our store. So we wanted to promote Commoner a lot, because I told Chris, right. My experience as a new player going to the game, getting smashed every week in Armory, right?
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy Blitz, right? Blitz to me, it's like the the demo version of the game, and CC is like the full version of the game. So I went straight into CC with no legendary, and I was like, look, I think it's okay to win game, right? So you need your legendaries to be kind of like on par with the other players, otherwise you're like in big disadvantage.
Yeah.
So I spent the money, played Prism. So how I got into Prism was pretty funny. So I looked at the heroes. I'm like, okay, so this guy gave me Prism, and I think she's pretty interesting because in Magic I play a lot of blue-black control.
Nice.
Right? I like to give people a horrible time.
Oh, you're one of those. Brilliant.
I'm one of those people. I'm like, okay, come on, hit me now. Okay, I have 2 blues open. Maybe I have a counter spell. Maybe I don't.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah, so I went into Prism because I think I bought about 4 cases of first edition Monarch on the get-go straight away. And then when I cracked it, I told myself, okay, whatever legendary I get in there, that's the hero I'm going to play.
Oh.
So majority of my legendary cold foils were for Prism. And that's how I went to Prism. And of course, I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was, okay, maybe I should just play with all the heralds and this smash face because it reminded me of this Magic commander which I have, Kalia.
Oh yeah.
The angel commander, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Play all angels. I went in, got smashed, and I'm like, okay, this is horrible. And it took me a long time before I actually got good and then won an armory. So then when we started the business, I told Chris, it was a horrible experience and I don't ever want anyone to experience this until they're ready.
Yeah.
So we basically kind of like took care of our customers like they're our babies, right? So we said, okay, let's do commoner armory. All right. So whenever customers come in, we told them, okay, look, we got all this pile of common cards here. They're all free for you guys to build a deck. Right.
Yeah.
And these were donated by some of the other players. So I say, okay, look, let's build a deck, get you ready, then come on the armory on a weekend, and let's play.
I think in the hobby scene, even in Warhammer, like sometimes you tend to have power players who just really like smashing people.
Yeah.
And I mean, that doesn't make it a good experience for anyone. I think at the end of the day, hobbies are meant to be enjoyed, and we're all there to have fun, right? But you have a couple of people who really like to just demolish people in games. And I mean, even if you were at your kitchen top table and you had a friend who did that, after a while that friend wouldn't get an invite to the table anymore, right? He'll be like, okay, I think this guy, we do not want him anymore because he comes in, he makes a bad time for everyone.
Yeah.
We don't want him around. And you can do that, so to speak, because that's your buddy or it's just someone that you have an acquaintance. But in the store, it's a bit difficult because in the store, we are a business, right? And if you're a paying customer, how can we say no to you? So that's where it got tricky. We were trying to figure out how do we do that because we didn't. I mean, obviously it's a business, and we know that if we were nasty about it or make people feel unwelcome, that also wouldn't be good, right? Because that's not really what we want to do. All we want to do is actually create a healthy environment and a healthy business that's created around having fun, not just about people coming in to smash people, right?
Yeah, and that's I've got to give it to you. That is difficult because obviously Flesh and Blood is not designed for that purpose right now, is it? It's designed to be, cutthroat to a certain degree, and it's only until recently where we had the FAB 2.0 article where they said that it's not all about the competitive play. They want to sort of bring up the other areas as well. So the fact that you're doing that from the off is definitely good practice, and obviously it's working out for you. So that's good.
Yeah. I think it's great as well that we hear Legends Story Studios doing this because it's going to be good for the game. And we love the game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not that even though I'm a casual dude who just likes to play and have fun.
Yeah.
I also realize that you want to win a bit here and there as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think the game's constructed really well. I think there's a lot of ways you can build a deck if you want to. So I think being able to open it up to more people to play would be great for card games in general, right? Because all this while, card games have always been the domain of competitive players. But now that people like me are getting into it, like, hey, this is actually fun, but like you said, right, the game is designed to be competitive right now, and I'm really looking forward to it being the new formats being announced or whatnot, because then it opens up a whole world of possibility to other people. And I'm sure you agree that there are more board gamers out there than there are TCG players, right? Like
exactly.
With like Hunters for Gloomhaven and all these games. I think there's a real appetite for gaming right now, because people I think are getting tired of just playing video games. or just being behind the screen, right? They want to get together with people.
Well,
Um,
Well, look,
yeah.
over the last 2 years of of what we've had, of the virus and all that sort of stuff, people do just want to get together and play games in the flesh and blood. No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what they want to be doing because they've been sat in their houses for 2 years just looking at people on a screen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not happening for the Warhammer dudes though. The Warhammer dudes don't seem to be coming out to play, not as much. The card gamers are also
really?
happy to. Yeah, the Warhammer. I don't know what's going on. I mean, because I'm in the business now and I talk to the local GW guys here, right? And there is actually an issue with Warhammer in Malaysia at least. I don't know about other countries, but the Warhammer guys just like to play in their own homes now. They don't really come into store. Yeah, so it's a bit of a challenge to sell Warhammer stuff now. Anyways.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've heard that obviously I speak to Red Zone Rogue a lot these days.
Yeah, I saw he's just getting into Warhammer 40k, right?
Yeah, but he's getting into it on a sort of casual level, and I've heard a lot of things that 40k is very competitive and it's hard to have a casual experience. Is that right, or can you?
I think it depends on like I said, the stores. The stores need to do something about it. Like I right now for us, I'm encouraging our kill team right now, right?
That's
'Cause
like
I think
the
that's
smaller squad based stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So that's an easy way to get into the game. It's also
Yeah.
less, and then because Warhammer as well, I just got into painting 2 years ago, right? So I also know that there are also challenges to coming in as a new hobbyist. The whole building aspect, the whole painting aspect.
Yeah.
If you've got to paint, for example, a 500-point army, which is like maybe 20, 30 models, that's going to scare you, man. Like, really, it's not like, for example, when I picked up my first model to paint, I was scared to death of making a mistake. It's like, what if I mess up the model? And in Malaysia, the currency in Malaysia isn't that great, right? I mean, I think for us, for our customers, they really spend quite a lot of their money, their disposable income on games. Unlike like you folks in the UK or in the US, I mean, the games for you are cheaper, right? Because you're probably paying like what, £5 a pack. But in Malaysia, yeah, in Malaysia, our customers spend 18 ringgit a pack, and that's something like maybe 2 McDonald's meals, or maybe 1.5 McDonald's meals.
Oh,
Just
really?
to-
Right. Okay.
It's expensive. So when guys are picking up packs, it really, I know they don't feel it hurts, but honestly, after a while, you begin to realize that you do need to set aside funds to buy your cards, right? And
Yeah.
and-
So a pack of cards over here is about about £4 sterling, which is about 1989 ringgit apparently.
Yeah, around there. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, it's the same in terms of the currency because at the end of the day, Legend Story Studios set the USD price or European price for it, right?
Yeah.
But that price is actually X amount of dollars, US dollars, right? And that's the same all of entertainment stuff in our part of the world, right? A lot of people get the hobbies, like even video games. They spend a lot, like if you pick up a PlayStation 5 game, that's going to set you back almost close to 200 ringgit, and that's a lot of money for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it is what it is. I mean, the global economy is what it is. So that's why at times sometimes it's a bit frustrating for us as hobbies or gamers. We are like, yeah, we really love to play these games and all that, but we can't buy as often, right? And that also makes it sometimes inaccessible to people. Like for example, TCGs right now, to me, I think you have to be a professional to be able to afford it. If you're a school kid, right, it's going to be tough, right? How are you going to get? Are your parents going to allow you to pick up a pack of cards because that's 18 ringgit a pack, right? Unless you come from a fairly well-to-do family, I mean, I think the average child in Malaysia or kid will not pick up a TCG because they just can't afford it, right? It's like 18 ringgit a pack. That's probably my allowance for 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is different then.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
With the new price increase, it's not gonna help us at all. It's making it worse.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's another matter altogether. We've been having discussions with the distributor for Flesh and Blood, who's based in Taiwan, and we've been having a long conversation about this, like how can we mitigate the impact, because the game is still new, right? Games like Magic and Magic's way more expensive because Magic just had a 20% price hike just a couple of months ago, right? And it's so expensive now for Magic, right? Anyway, so
I felt it was a wrong time to actually do the price increase, right? Because it feels like, okay, look, if it's a set booster, then it's like 15 cards a pack, right? But now it's going to be a supplemental booster, which is 10 cards a pack, and you're charging me more, right? It feels like going to McDonald's 10 years ago and then coming in now, which is the size of a patty is like half the patty right now. It kind of makes us feel that way.
Yeah.
Just yeah. It's the same with so much things, though, isn't it? Recently, it's just like they're just trying to cut back on everything and trim the fat and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's just it's everyone's feeling the squeeze, unfortunately.
But I think our point is like, it could have been done at a better timing, right? Rather than for a supplemental booster, right? I mean, if the price increase would occur, it should be for a set booster, which is better, right?
Yeah,
then
that makes
at
sense.
least, yeah, because we were just talking to a customer, we were asking, what do you think of the price increase? And he was the one who said, yeah, I'm just getting 10 cards for like more expensive wine, I'm like, true. That
and
makes sense.
you can't draft it or do sealed or anything really, can you? With it
either? We can't do draft or sealed, right? Obviously for us as a store.
Yeah.
Right?
Now my worry is that this set may not even sell as well as we thought it's going to be. Yeah, despite having all the cool marbles, like, is it worth it? With the price increase, we can live without the marbles. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because I think Everfest was opened a lot, but then obviously there wasn't much in there. Wasn't really much in there, was there? To be honest.
No, it wasn't. It was like cool foil potions. Then I'm like, okay, let me try to collect all the cool foil potions.
Yeah.
3 sets. And then like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not just completed all the potions recently, right?
Yeah.
Finally, the card came in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's fair to raise issues because we live in Asia, right? Asia is a totally different place. Currency-wise, also we are on the losing end. So I think game companies.
Our tax, our taxes are like 20-30% when it comes into Malaysia, so everything is a bit more expensive. And then for stores, our margins are really slim.
Yeah.
I think game companies need to be aware of the global. We're a global market now, right? And I know Malaysia isn't the biggest market, but we still love the game, right? We're still dropping money on the game, right? So I think more consideration should be made for how it impacts other people in the world. I think that the gaming industry still needs to mature a lot. Because Scott and I came from different backgrounds in other industries, and we see how people manage prices. A lot of times you see that they have regional-based pricing as well. So, for example, Asia. Yeah, because things in Asia are a lot more expensive for people, right? So you could have pricing just for example, for Southeast Asia because we don't have as much spending power, right? But you still want the market, right? Because we're still giving you money for the company, right? Yeah, so things like that. So, but don't want things about that. Like even comic books, it's just one price. Is that USD?
It's one price generalized globally.
Yeah, and then everyone's buying, and then that locks out a lot of people who are actually enjoying a particular hobby or whatnot, right?
Yeah, especially coming from a developing country, right? Like, oh man, you want to play this game, but it's getting more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Legend Story Studios for doing
but I felt it came in the wrong time.
Yeah, but they should have just held off on it. I think we were talking to some of the industry people, and then we know that there are paper supply issues in the manufacturing side, right? And I think trading card printers, there are only 3 of them in the world today, and these guys have issues getting paper. So that's I mean, we understand totally that they have no choice. I'm card gamers, and then we were just having a chat this 2 days ago, and then we found out that actually we didn't realize it. I guess so, right? That card gamers tend to be very selective of how the cards feel. So even if the manufacturers dialed back and got some other form of paper to print the cards, they will get there'll be a negative response in the community as well. Be like, oh, my cards don't feel like what they did.
Yeah, I don't know if you experienced this, but do you remember do you remember when Crucible of War had a second printing?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't in the game then. I only came to the game when around Everfest, Tales of Aria.
Oh, really?
I came in during Monarch.
During Monarch, yeah. So I think the second Crucible printing happened. I think it was after then, but they changed their. I think they were printed in Japan instead. This time round, and you could feel the difference. Like the edges were more scuffed, and it was that comes with all sorts of implications when you change your sort of manufacturer, because people will notice it. That's the thing.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And no, because you're card gamers, right? You are obviously you care about what the paper looks like, right? I mean the card looks like.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to be paying a few hundred USD for a card, like like Command and Conquer is about 100 USD now, right? Give or take. You want to make sure it's a good card. I mean, you can't have it scuffed. And we notice also sometimes when cards come out of the pack, there's issues sometimes with the cards. And the ages and
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys had this batch where the Marvel Dragons had a vertical line on the left side from top to bottom.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. Factory damage.
Really? Oh, dear.
Yeah, out of the pack. Yeah, we have one customer, our biggest spender. He really loves cards, right? So he keeps cracking them. So like
That's good.
It's good because he also enjoys it, right? So it's fine. It's like a win-win, and we make the store very welcoming, anyways. So when our writing first came out, I think for the first week, he bought 3 cases and he just went to town, right?
Yeah.
So he opened like we had a day where everyone took the day off or whatnot, and they came to the store and everyone was just opening their cases and whatnot. We were having fun. And then he opened quite a lot of Marvels. He had like a couple of the dragons came out. I think he had one of the Ash Wings, the Marvel Ash Wings also came out. And then every single time it came out, most of them I think he got maybe 5 or 6 cards that were Marvels. Then like half of them had that line going down the side. It's so weird.
It's really strange.
And
I've
it was
never seen
obviously
that.
painful, right? Yeah, it's because it's a beautiful card, and then you have this line going down the side there. Like, what the heck was that, man? And it didn't just happen once. We thought maybe one card had it, right? But then he pulled like another 1 or 2 that had it as well. We were like, oh no.
And then other shops, customers also had the same issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was from the
I don't
same. Is that from the same manufacturer? Then was it the same batch?
Same batch, first batch, when
right.
it first
The first batch.
released. Street date. Yep.
Ah.
Yeah,
What was it like?
was
Was it like a crease or was it like a paint line?
Yeah, it was like a paint line. Yeah, a paint line.
Paint line. Right. Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
all
like
the way
a
down from top to bottom.
box cutter. Take a box cutter and just run through the card.
Ah, right.
Yeah, it's like a box cutter, and you just like lightly scratch the card from top to bottom. Yeah. It's a shame though, because those are beautiful cards. We're like, and those are the first time we were seeing the Marvels in front of our eyes for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful, but like what's this line going down there? And then obviously our customer was really upset as well, because like, what's going on? I mean, like these are beautiful cards, but what's going on? Right? And we didn't. I mean, obviously he's a collector, right?
Yeah.
So he opens the packs carefully. He knows how to handle the cards. And like, what's this? I just opened the pack and then the cards like that.
You know how it's funny? We had this conversation that maybe misprinted cards may be more valuable.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe factory damage cards can be more valuable.
Yeah. You sell that idea to him instead. Yeah. Well, you've got the only one that's got this line through it, so therefore it's going to be a piece of history and all this.
Unique. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he didn't get treated like that, so obviously not.
So he was not so happy about it. He's like, "Oh, Scott, do you want it?" I'm like, "I don't mind. How much you want to sell it for? 50% the value? Sure, I'll take it."
All right then. Yeah.
Because being in Magic, misprint cards they sell for a lot, and there's like a niche market for it.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, especially when the land comes out and then you see, there's an island and a mountain, both in one card. Woo.
Yeah, there we go. There's a volcanic island right there. Lovely old job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, it was really good. It was really good chatting with you both. I'm gonna have to go now, unfortunately.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah. What time is it over there? Is it really early? Is it in the morning?
It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott and I were up late. We were just talking about the business and just catching up a little bit because Scott didn't come to the store today, so I just wanted to catch up with you about stuff.
Yeah.
And you were on. I was like, hey, it's on.
Yeah. Just exactly. Yeah, exactly. Reach out whenever you like. Are you on Twitter at all yet?
Yeah. Maybe I'll send you my Twitter handle later, and then we can see how we can work together.
Yeah, sounds good.
I always think I'll do more fun stuff, so it'd be great to be able to work with you as well on this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds
I think
good.
you can just make one Twitter account for StormGates as well. Yeah, just for you to tag on.
Yeah, and then we can tag them, right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Because, I mean,
thanks for
that's right.
meeting you.
Yeah, that's right. No problem at all. It was good fun. Thanks for reaching out. Even though
Yeah,
it is very, very early in the morning.
Yeah. We were busy doing work.
Yeah. Business never sleeps.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, As we'll speak again soon.
Yeah. See you later, friends.
Sure.
All right, see ya, man. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.